From world traversal, exploration, leveling, and even something as mundane and elementary as setting up your equipment, nothing is conventional and simple in Elden Ring, especially for the PC version. Aside from the tutorial area, which is utterly superfluous, teaching things which even casual gamers ought to already know, Elden Ring doesn't hold your hand once you get to the open world of the lands between. Hence, I spent a good chunk of some 30 hours I dumped into the game, adrift and dumbfounded. In this video, I'll show you the things you must absolutely do first during your first hours in Limgrave. And I don't mean just bullet points format and calling it a day. We'll do it playthrough style so I can show you the most efficient sequence that I know of in accomplishing these tasks. In the character selection screen, choose the Golden Seed. It is the most useful starting item as it adds another charge to your flask which should either replenish your HP or FP depending on how you manage them or according to your usage. Now when you get to this area, you can choose to either jump off this ledge, which basically is a tutorial area, or you can head straight to that door and continue on your merry way to Limgrave. While I've found this a really nice, subtle, and non-immersion breaking transition, I suggest foregoing this since, as I mentioned before, the tutorial is extremely superfluous, hence a massive waste of time. Now when you finally set foot on Limgrave, activate the first Site of Grace and run straight towards that Church of Ellen, that ruined structure you see in the distance in front of you. Be sure though to head straight and just left of that tree sentry, which is the giant boss on horseback. For the time being, let's just let him be and sprint towards the church. Upon arriving at the church, activate the Site of Grace. Inside the church, you will see a smithing table where you level up your armaments. In Kale, the anorexic Santa, the very first merchant among many in the game. He sells you valuable early game items such as the crafting kit, torch, and furl curling finger remedy, the item we need to spot summoning signs for multiplayer action. At this point though, we cannot afford anything, so for now, head out to the side door, follow the main road, and kill enemies you see along the way to start saving up on runes, which is the currency used both for purchasing items and leveling up. And while you're at it, pick up these earth leaf flowers and these red flowers, which I forgot the name of. I'll show you later why once you get to the crafting kit from Kale. At the end of the road, you will find the front gate ruins, our first important stop where we can get a plethora of vital items. Now for our first item, we need to surreptitiously and stealthily access a stairwell leading to a cellar in the middle of the ruins. Quietly kill enemies one at a time and avoid alerting the whole battalion at all costs. What I actually do is lure them towards me one at a time with range attack or pick them off one by one with stealth kills. Now you don't have to kill all of them unless that's your cup of tea. Once you're done killing enough enemies to access the stairwell, head down the cellar and here you'll find the Wheatstone knife which allows you to add special abilities to your weapons called Ashes of War. And alongside this is the first Ash of War called Storm Stump. I'll show you how to equip this later on. For now, let's get our next item, which is the East Limgrave map, which is just behind this wall, right below that pillar across the road. With this map, you can now fast travel to Sites of Grace you have unlocked. After this, we head towards the gate front, but first, let's make a stopover and kill that guard in front of that cart and retrieve the long sword inside the chest. After this, continue towards gate front and activate the Site of Grace right in front of it. And a cinematic should play where Melina gives you a quest, and if you accept this, she will give you a whistle which you will use to summon your spectral steed called Torrent. Quick tip, put the whistle in one of your quick access slots so you won't have to keep on opening your inventory to summon Torrent. Now quick disclaimer, people seem to complain that they unlock Torrent at different Sites of Grace. This is because this quest unlocks at the first Site of Grace you rest upon after you have unlocked at least 3 Sites of Grace in Limgrave. I hope that clears things up. Now after this, make your way towards the opposite side of the ruins, killing the guards along the way, and get the flail at the second carriage chest. From this point, you can choose to kill all the guards at the ruins, but for the purposes of this video, I'll let them be and proceed to the next and probably the most important part of this tutorial. Collecting enough smithing stones to get one of your items or your weapons to level 3. Now why only level 3, you may ask? It's because it's the highest level you can level up your armament on your own. To get it to higher levels, you'll need a weaponsmith. Our first area is Limgrave Tunnel, which is located at this part of the map. This is actually just below the cliff across the road from where we are. Don't forget to activate the Site of Grace though nearby before heading there. Collect smithing stones from these yellow glowing crystals which these miners are mining. Be careful though. These guys deal a decent damage at our current level. Now this tunnel has 2 levels. Just clear both levels and you should have 7 smithing stones at the end. Unfortunately, this is a one-time thing. These crystals don't respawn, even if you rest as the Site of Grace or exit the tunnel. But the good news is, we still have one place to go where we can collect 5 smithing stones level 1 and 1 smithing stone level 2. For this, we need to go back to the last Site of Grace we have unlocked near the Gatefront ruins. Summon Torrent and head towards the eastern wall of Gatefront. Once you see this area with constant lightning strikes, look to the right and head towards that ruin and you should see this tornado vortex thingy. Using Torrent, jump over the vortex. This should take you over the walls and land you at Storm Hill, where a congregation of giants roam the area. Look for a white glowing statue near the cliff and stand next to it and lure a giant to stomp on it. Once done, the statue should break, where you can now access the smithing stones inside. Now fast travel to Church of Ele, and you should see a girl sitting on the wall. Talk to her and she should give you a spirit summon bell, which you can use to summon spirits to fight alongside you. However, you can only use these spirits to clear enemy camps and fight bosses and on difficult areas. Now to equip an Ash of War, simply rest on any Site of Grace, choose Ash of War, click on the weapon and the Ash of War you want to apply. This should now add the desired skill to the weapon as indicated by this icon on the lower right corner. Now to remove it, simply click the weapon and the Ash of War again or click on another Ash of War should you wish to replace it. You can equip one Ash of War at a time and the Ash of War you replaced remains with you, which you can use again at any time at your disposal. Now for the Golden Seed, our chosen keepsake. Simply choose the Flask tab while resting on any Site of Grace, click Add Flask Charge and confirm when prompted. In the same tab, you can also manage your flask depending on your playstyle or your character class. Finally, go to the smithing area and upgrade your chosen weapon to level 3. You should have enough stones and runes for this after all that we've done. Now you are ready to start your adventure and explore the lands between. I watched the raw footage of this video and we did all this in about 45 minutes. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and click on that bell icon. Have a great day all and peace out.